I know, she's a sweetheart.
What are you doing? Ready to go on an adventure, huh?
Oh yeah, I think she'll be good. I don't think she hasn't made a sound. I haven't had a single meow. No, she's just been so good.
Yeah. And you make a turn to the right.
Joshua approach, Bonanza 560 Bravo Bravo, with you at 10,500.
Bonanza 560 Bravo Bravo, Joshua approach, form altimeter 3007, welcome.
007, thank you.
Josh approach, bearing 773 Romeo.
Bearing 777 Romeo, Josh approach, form altimeter 3007.
3007, that's 7773 Romeo, just off of Foxfield. There's a B-55 climbing at 8,500. I'd like to get flight following up to Auburn, which is Alpha Uniform November.
Bearing 73 Romeo, squawk 2403.
2403, 73 Romeo.
Bearing 73 Romeo, radar contact 6 miles to the west of Fox Airport, northwest.
73 Romeo. Now you see how this comes back a little bit as we're climbing? Just go ahead and push it further up. And if it's all the way forward, it's all the way forward. That's all you get.
Yeah, it was all the way forward earlier.
Alright, that's all you get. And I'm going to tweak this one because you can hear it kind of going wah, wah, wah. I'll teach you about that later, but other than that, you got it all. Everything's looking good. You're doing good. Just keep going straight ahead and it'll intercept it. See how you're on a good intercept for the the course? It'll come in here in just a couple of seconds. Couple minutes, I should say.
Oh, kitty. Hi, Evie. Easy, baby. We're going through there? Or over there?
You could probably go straight ahead and pick it up there. Yeah, we'll end up actually going over that way, so.
That little valley through there?
Yeah, you could go through there, that's good. Alright, nice. You could probably turn a little bit more to the left. See the high peak right there? You just go to the left of that.
Here's your Mike Charlie, offer cancellation received.
Okay, let go of it, see what it does. See how it's still trying to go nose down? That's good. Let go of it again. So yeah, now it's going nose up, you overdid it. This airplane takes a very small amount of trim. There, that's pretty well in trim. Now you can push the power back up to about 20 inches.
Cessna 58 Delta Radar contact 2.5 miles northwest Jackson Airport. Expect your clearance leaving 2,300.
There we go.
Caravan 2 Foxtrot.
Now you're probably going to have to retrim it. Just changing the power settings.
Zero Mike Charlie radar service coming to squawk VFR. Change to advisory frequency approved. Have a good one.
Alright, time to lean this thing out. Alright, there's our peak. Right around 26 gallons of fuel an hour.
Here 237 Delta Charlie, Bakersfield approach, Bakersfield altimeter 3016.
Alright, so like I was saying, just the way that I was taught, they used to say that it was bad for the engine to run it at a higher manifold pressure consistently than the RPM. So you didn't want to run it at 30 inches of manifold pressure and 2400 RPM. All the power settings in the book basically have the highest that you'll have is squared. So when you set climb power, you set 25 squared, which is 2500 RPM, 25 inches. Now, the new school thought, like I said, there's plenty of guys that will tell you that that's an old wives' tale and it doesn't hurt the engine or anything like that. I'm okay with flying the airplane the way that I was taught.
I'm Mike Bravo, Bakersfield departure radar contact.
So right now we have, according to this, at 8,500, about a 25 knot headwind.
Ouch.
I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I mean, we can compute the data here in a couple of seconds and figure it out. What's your baby doing?
She's good.
Okay.
Actually pretty chillaxed.
Yes. But as a 2 Charlie Sierra, contact Fresno approach 132.35, see ya.
Can I cut some of this off?
Sure, let's take a look and see.
Or, I mean, I'm always here.
I mean, we can go direct to Visalia. I thought maybe while we were flying we could actually answer some of those questions from that interview, see if it gets a little bit better and might be more interesting.
What interview?
The ones that we try to do in the hangar that kind of turned out so bad.
Okay, just as long as I'm not talking. Okay. So that's not done yet?
No. I mean, I've sent him a bunch of stuff and, you know, did a big write-up on it and everything.
Okay.
But I can do that. I mean, I'll just have to look up and see what some of the questions were. But, you know, another guy actually asked, and he suggested during these times where you're just going straight and level and everything to talk about, you know, why we do this, what we're doing, what Pilots N Paws is all about, and everything, as opposed to just the flying part. So I can probably turn that iPad off for a little bit.
700 Tango traffic no factor, contact tower.
Going to plug this one back in.
Contact Straight Victor, roger.
Why is the right one so far off from the left, from the fuel?
That's not really that far off.
Quarter of a tank, isn't?
Oh, the fuel gauges. I thought you meant the fuel flow, fuel pressure. Because that left one has a sticky float in it. Pretty much never really fly by these things. I use them as kind of a reminder, but you can never count on these things actually being accurate. I mean, for all we know, the things that the actual floats in there that take the reading were made in 1969. So.
This is really, oh, duh. Like, why the fuck are my ears hurting? I'm sorry, it's more, more editing. I'm really sorry. I don't know why.
But that's another part of a good lesson for you there, is you never count on the fuel gauges in an airplane. With the exception of, I mean, if you're flying a high-end jet, you know, like I do at work, the gauges are pretty accurate. These gauges are not. Anything like in the 182 are not. So you're not going to fly and use the gauges.
Contact tower 118.1.
Was that us?
No. You wanna fly based on time and your fuel flow.
Charlie, contact LA Center 127.
So what you plan, it's like when we scuba dive. When you plan the dive and then dive the plan, the same thing has to go here. You wanna plan your fuel, know what your fuel burn's gonna be, and know how much you had. I mean, we had roughly 5 hours worth of fuel when we took off.
5 Mike Bravo, contact LA Center 119.05.
From French Valley. So with this, you know, an hour up to there and 2 hours up to here, we'll still have 2 hours worth of gas left on board the airplane. That's a rough estimate, but I don't go much lower than that. Really don't cut it down to where we have an hour worth of fuel on board. Some people play more of a tight game with that than I do.
If you're not already,
so are we going to refuel or no?
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to refuel when we get up here. For those of watching that might not know, or for this interview, my name is Derek Hikus, my wife Kim Bemis, and we're volunteer pilots for Pilots N Paws. That's what we're in the middle of doing right now. This is our 52nd Pilots N Paws freedom flight, and over that time we've moved 122.
You need 120. I thought it was 121. I have to check.
120, 122 animals, somewhere around there.
Skyline 31 altitude.
We've been doing this for what, right at 2 years now? I'm an airline pilot by trade, so I fly for a living, and for a long time I always felt like there was no reason for me to fly on my days off. You know, going to the airport was like going to work. So I didn't do a whole lot of general aviation flying, didn't fly small airplanes for over 25 years. And then I started seeing some posts that a friend of mine shared on Facebook about this organization, Pilots N Paws. And I was kind of intrigued by it, and I thought, wow, that's really cool. It's something I would like to be able to do someday. I thought it was a really good way to use the skills that we have as pilots to give back. And both my wife and I are animal lovers, so, you know, what better way to help them out and to do something, you know, that I'm specifically trained and taught to do. So I said it's something I'd like to do for somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 years.
It was more than that.
couple of years of watching these posts on Facebook and following Pilots N Paws. And I finally got to a point where I had a Sunday off, and there was an orientation for a local flight club on Sunday, and I came down earlier than I normally do and was dressed, and Kim said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I was thinking about going to this orientation for this flying club, but I'm not really sure because, you know, then I'll have to pay the money to join the club." And I made all kinds of excuses, and she basically kicked me out of the door. Said, just go do it, go check it out. You don't have to join, just go and look. So I did, and I talked to the guy who runs Pacific Coast Flyers, Jeff White, and had a really good discussion with him and decided I'm going to jump in and give it a shot. So I joined the club, and I spent a few days with an instructor, getting checked out in small airplanes again, because it is a different type of flying, and it's certainly a different perspective in flying, you know, a 200-seat jet versus 4 or 6-seat light airplane. But I got checked out and jumped in. Eventually, that led me to buying an airplane for the club. It's on lease back in the club. That's our 182RG. It's one of the 2 fastest airplanes in the club, and it's really good for cross countries. But I also knew over time, and with the terrain that we fly around out here on the West Coast, that I would want a twin. And started talking to one of the other owners from the flying club about that, and we looked at several different airplanes, and eventually I ended up buying this airplane, November 7773 Romeo, on my own. And this is my future retirement gift to myself. But by having this airplane, it's allowed us to do 52 flights, moving 120 animals.
121.
121 now. Today's flight, we have, how old is she?
I don't know.
An adult cat that's being adopted, and she was rescued from a shelter down in the Palmdale area, Palmdale, California, and there's an adopter for her up here in Grass Valley, so we're flying up there to take her to her forever home.
She was in an isolation area without anyone being able to see her to adopt her, and it's a high kill shelter.
So the lady, Linda, who runs the rescue, found her and pulled her out, found an adopter for her. So that's how we got started in doing this, and it's some of the most rewarding flying that I've done. I mean, if I could pay my bills doing this, I certainly would. But that's another point. A lot of people don't realize in this type of flying that Pilots N Paws pilots, we're all volunteers, and everything has to be done on our own time, on our own dime. We're not allowed to accept any form of compensation for this at all by federal aviation regulations. We can't accept donations for fuel or landing fees or anything like that, because then that changes the type of flying. That makes it
5358
all more within being charter.
132.35.
132.35. 58 Delta, yeah.
So all of us, there are roughly 5,000 volunteer pilots for Pilots N Paws, have moved over 150,000 animals since the organization started in the mid-2000s.
6 Charlie Alpha, will you be flying in the vicinity of Avenal?
I will, 6 Charlie Alpha.
And we've all done it, you know, entirely on our own. And people ask, you know, isn't it expensive? And yeah, it is, but I've been fortunate to be able to do it. And it's not something that I would give up. You know, it's something that I enjoy doing and will continue to do for as long as I'll be able to.
You are in entirely truthful about getting set up. You didn't just have yourself set up for the thing with the flying club. Then want the hemming and hawing about doing Pilots N Paws flights forever. Got sick of it, and I said, what is it going to take for you to do one of these Pilots N Paws flights? And he said, get checked out with the local flying club. I said, well, where's the closest flying club? He said, Carlsbad. And I looked at you, and I kicked you out the door. Then you went to go to the flying club.
You remember that entirely differently than I.
Uh-huh.
Baron 73 Romeo, contact present approach 132.35.
3235, 73 Romeo, good day. Afternoon, Fresno, Baron 773 Romeo at 8,500.
Baron 7773 Romeo, present approach, the altimeter Fresno 3014.
3014, 70 Romeo.
Asking you questions and doing this is not beneficial to my flying.
Okay, well, see what the wind is actually doing to us out here, so. Okay, so it says we're going 188 true with 23 knots of headwind component. So hopefully on the way back we'll be able to pick up a bit of a tailwind. You shake your head and say no. Yeah.
cover, meet the rest. Okay, are you ready to go home and unwind from your trip? So, wash down, brush. Got the other cat, this is my 12th, the other ones, I forgot to have her teeth out. Poor little thing, 6